Here's the new beginnings. Here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent. We pull up so independent.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sloan Blueprint, a Couplepreneurs podcast. I am your co-host, Nicole Sloan.
And I am Eric Sloan.
And we are elated that you decided to join us again. And of course, if this is your first time, we hope to welcome you back next week. Right,
Yep.
Right, Eric?
Come on back.
Come on back. But thank you again for joining us for more tips and a little laughter and comedy. As you said the other day, I guess
It's just comedy.
Born comedian.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't even know it. But I usually save this till the end, but I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it again too. Please subscribe to the Sloan Blueprint. Tell all your family and your friends and your cousins and your uncles and who else, Eric?
Yeah. What's your nieces, your nephews?
Everybody.
Everybody.
But don't be selfish and watch the episodes alone. You got to tell people, right? Absolutely. So,
and not only follow, but on Instagram, follow us on Sloan Blueprint. But if you go to YouTube and type in Sloan Blueprint, then that'll come up to all of the episodes.
Yep. Right.
So subscribe to the channel.
That's right. So if you haven't already, and then we want you to go and catch up if you haven't caught up already. Right.
Absolutely.
You gonna agree with me? You gonna help me out today?
We're gonna touch and agree.
Okay. Because we wasn't touching and agreeing for a minute there. But we definitely feel like we've been making some progress. We can only do that with the help of God and, of course, all of your support, the ones that have been watching. So we, again, appreciate you guys so much.
Yep. And I think as you communicate often, as far as the motto, do you want to say it or would you like me to say it?
See if you remember.
Well, I do the short version, the PNP, progress, not perfection.
PNP.
Yeah, PNP.
Oh, not PIMP. PM, okay.
Because I'm a PIM.
No. But hey, we're going to keep on keeping on, right? We're going to keep moving forward.
Well, and that's where it goes. Since you're saying we're going to keep moving, that's that do. Yeah, that DO. So instead of...
Well, that's just really our word. I think that's our word for the rest of this year, and just from now on to do it.
Yeah, just like Nike.
Yeah, we discussed that the other day on a quick live that we did. Just do it. If you know there's something God has called you to do, don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Just do it. Do it.
See, let's not talk about that because you don't got on me a couple of times about the procrastination aspects of things. So.
Well, I just say it like this because I know when you procrastinate, it just delays what God wants to do. And we already know that if he gives you the vision, he's going to make the what?
He's going to make the provision.
Okay.
Make the way
say it louder so people can hear it now.
I'm good.
If he gives you the vision, he's going to make provision. So I'm going to stop preaching because soon I'm going to expect him to give me an offering.
You don't get enough?
Nope. I ain't nearly paid enough. But let's get into, just dive deeper into what we want to talk about today. On the previous episode, one of the points that we discussed was about how unity is super important in business and in marriage, right?
Absolutely.
We've said it probably a zillion times. United we stand, divided we fall.
Correct.
And that goes for marriage, that goes for business, and all aspects of any relationship, right?
In relationship, in business, in life, in I guess how you communicate with your children and anybody else. So
right,
yeah,
exactly.
100%.
Yeah. And one of the best ways to ensure that you have unity is to strive for effective communication. UNITY.
Hey.
And we can be on that topic for months. Effective communication. We're going to talk about it a little bit today.
Yeah.
Right.
See. To me, I think you're trying to get to the point as far as when we're talking about effective communication, and it's always listen to your spouse.
Well, wait,
well, no,
hold up.
See, but when I say that,
let you finish.
Yeah, but when I say that from the standpoint, not in a bad way, but listening to your spouse is always typically a good thing. Because most times,
y'all make sure you get that on tape. We got to make sure we won't play that.
Most times, it's no jokingly. I say all the times it's a good thing, but I can speak for myself from my standpoint.
From your standpoint. From your standpoint, come on.
Sometimes you don't necessarily want to hear.
Who?
It can go either way.
Oh,
it can go both ways. I'm speaking I'm speaking.
About to say now, hold up.
I'm speaking from my
I'll
standpoint.
be out in front of the people.
No, I'm speaking from my standpoint. Sometimes I don't necessarily want to hear some of the things, even though it may be right in what you're saying. Sometimes I don't want to hear it, or sometimes I may not receive the way that it may be said. So, you know.
We're going to rewind this later. How can I say this real nice? Men have a particular way of communicating in most females' opinions, and I think the girls would probably agree. Men communicate minimally, and I know y'all say we communicate all the way to the max. You know, we talk too much, and it makes me think about that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I've always said, men, I believe we think with both sides of our brains, whereas sometimes y'all men folk.
Your opinion.
Yeah, I know it is my opinion. But I'm gonna back that up with some facts.
We're gonna see.
But you know, men and women communicate differently, and it just, to me, relationships lack effective communication when we don't try to understand each other's ways of communicating. Did I say that right? Did that sound right to you?
I think you did, but I think from our standpoint, sometimes it is how you communicate it. So sometimes I think whenever, and I don't want to generalize it. No, matter of fact, I want to generalize it and not be to somebody specific, but I think from a male standpoint, and again, as I always say, from my standpoint, because I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I think it's sometimes we want you to express a desire versus, I say, a complaint, or sometimes it feels like it's a complaint. So if you tell us, I think we chatted about this once before, what do you want to eat? Hey, Chick-fil-A, you know, I'm a Chick-fil-A guy. So when they say the Lord's chicken. And so Chick-fil-A, I can pick anything. It's almost like, hey, well, just get me this or get me that.
Sometimes now. Don't. It's not always like that.
99% of the time.
Okay, but go on with your point. I'm sorry.
But expressing the desire as far as, hey, tell us what you want instead of us trying to figure out what you want. And from a communication standpoint, so if you tell us what you want, bam, we can go get it. We can. It's almost like that do aspect. You're like, we want to. If you tell us something, we're going to go do it.
Sometimes.
But if we're trying to figure out what you want, or if it comes off as a complaint, then yeah, we're going to tune out.
Yeah, but I understand that too. Well, you have to understand, women are a little bit more emotional, even in small things like that. Though, you know, you may say, "Hey, what do you want?" And I may feel like I want to just go down the list of things, you know, and you're just like, well, just pick one. You know, women just are more emotional. And most times y'all look at us like, well, and when we get emotional, well, what's wrong with you? You know, I think that has something to do with it. We get a little more involved, you know, with certain things, I have to say, because I know I'm more to the point when it comes to
cleaning.
Lord, you went all off. Never mind. Look. You right though. You right. I told you. Look, no, it's not in the Bible. Cleanliness is next to godliness. But that's Nicole 4:3. But anyway,
that's cute. I like that.
Just saying. Ain't nobody gonna be walking around heaven kicking the brown stuff and closing your cabinets for you. Okay, I'm sorry. But seriously, effective communication is important in all relationships. It helps shape your business success and your marital success too, and just any
Well,
situation.
not just marriage, but that's in anything.
Couple.
You can be single.
Single, yeah.
Exactly. Communicating with
Yeah.
whoever your significant other is, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, one, effectively communicate, but
Right.
communicate, period.
Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about maybe some ways or some steps to building effective communication lines. You want to start out, smart one?
Not really,
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
but effective ways to communicate. So I guess verbal or nonverbal or both.
Want to see you elaborate on this one? Well, you have to use verbal and nonverbal language communication, whatever you want to call it.
So I guess if we're going to go into nonverbal, so I guess I am big on that because for y'all that don't know, she gets on me a lot about the nonverbals and my facial expressions. But that goes back to the point that I had before. Hey, let's get to the point.
Well, no, not really. No, not really. That nonverbal and verbal communication means you got to be present and aware of what's going on. So when you're talking to me or whoever it is, you have to watch your facial expressions. You have to watch your body language. Because it can communicate either something negative or positive, right?
It can.
It can.
But I think sometimes it can be misrepresented as far as certain things, because I speak from a nonverbal standpoint. If you're saying do something or asking something to be done, I'm ready to go do it so we can do it. But if we're
like
elaborating,
that word do today, don't you? You said you told everybody to do it. You gonna use do. Do it.
Word for the episode.
Just do it. But you're right. I get what you're saying too, but we just have to be mindful of our gestures because it can communicate. Again, it can mean something negative or positive to that person, how it's received by the other person.
Correct.
Which leads me to the next point, listening to your spouse, your business partner, your whomever, whatever the.
So when you're saying listening, what do you mean from the standpoint of understanding how you communicate, or?
Well, in most cases, we're let's say in a marriage, because we do this. We're guilty. Guilty is charged. We are not. We're listening to not to really understand the other person's point of view. We're listening. So I wish you'd shut up, so I can say what I got to say because she's wrong or he's wrong. Right. Yeah, that's what we do, and it causes one or the other to be defensive. It become defensive, and it leads to a breakdown in communication, effective communication. So what my thing is, what we have to do is be intentional. Think about it, be intentional, give the other person time to speak, but also listen to what the person is saying. Listen to me. Trying to be nice and say, listen to the other person. Listen to me. I'll listen to you.
Sure you will.
We're all works in progress.
No, absolutely. I'm
works
joking.
in progress.
Yeah, but I agree. As far as the listening, I know I can only speak for myself. I have to do that more because sometimes I get laser focused. And so you may be saying something, and then, especially if I don't agree with it, I'm guilty of. Okay, let me get that. She finished. Now let me hurry up and get that point in instead of allowing you to elaborate to get your point across so that we can effectively communicate.
We're both guilty of that. So we, as I said, guilty is charged. What else would you, another tip I would say, maybe understanding how your spouse communicates or significant other or whomever.
Well, how they communicate. So with me right now, I'm struggling because I talk with my hands a lot. And sometimes when you're talking with your hands, that can come off. Some of those gestures can make it seem like you are angry or upset or just depending on who's looking at it or how the emotions are in that particular situation. So it can come off ugly, wrong, indifferent, not sure. But I know for me, I have to be careful with that. Just like now, I want to put this thing down just so I can use my hand, because that is, I guess that's how I communicate. I talk with my hands. I am very active.
That's how you communicate. One of the ways you communicate.
Correct.
Sometimes, I know you say one of the ways, but well, never mind. Is your spouse, you know, what you have to think about, what we have to think about is maybe taking time to think about what I'm saying or vice versa, what you're saying before we actually say it. Understanding how we communicate. And I know I'm different because, as I said before, women, I know I talk a lot more. And you'll say, oh, I don't talk that much. I don't have that much to say. But I always pick on you and say, well, I can't tell because you on conference calls all day long, talking to people all day. And then you get home and you
different conversations.
If we're trying to talk about something specific, depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm. Different conversations.
Mm-hmm. It's different. But it's just important to keep taking into consideration how you or I choose to communicate. It's important, or as we said in business, it can be with your employees or whomever you're dealing with at the time.
Well, and also I think it's the topic that we're talking about as well, as far as how you communicate, how long you can communicate, and how in-depth conversation can be.
And you said a key word, conversation, because if we're having a conversation and we know at that moment that it's just not really the appropriate time or what you or I may want to hear, then what we have to do is just to avoid confrontation. We have to just back off a little bit, you know.
Well, but depending on whose perception, because sometimes you can perceive like there's a confrontation, and sometimes it's like, hey, we're just having a conversation. So sometimes it's all about perception.
If it feels like it's going that direction, though, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can be, but again, from whose perspective?
That's true. I mean, that's true. All right, which leads to our next point: practicing patience.
What is that?
Patience is a virtue. But that's required. To me, that's a required communication skills that a lot of couples lack.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do too. We definitely lack patience, because I'll be honest, I get a little antsy, a little anxious.
Impatient.
Oh, very impatient. Trying to talk to you. You're not paying attention. You're doing other stuff, you know.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll take that, because as you said, my mind is probably running 100 miles an hour from the standpoint like, oh, we got to do this. Oh, this is the particular opportunity. Oh, how can we do that? So in my mind is racing, thinking about how we can do it, when we can do it, where we can do it, how we're going to implement it, what team we need. So my mind is always thinking about, I guess, the next thing, especially when an opportunity presents itself.
Right.
So, but yeah, I have to get better from that standpoint. So yes, dear.
Yeah, well, we all do. And then when I thought about something else as you were talking, I don't know why, but even living together, you know, when you're married for a long time, like we have been 21 years, that patience is required when I may say, hey, Eric, can you take out the trash, or can you do this, or can you help me do that, and vice versa. If you ask me to do something, because it'll become frustrating, and that's where the patience comes in.
Do we want to give some more examples?
You can go ahead.
No, I'm just joking.
Got time today? Go ahead.
I don't know. We may do a TikTok video or something on that.
Got time. But yeah, relationships need just a strong presence of patience and appreciation for each other, for the right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I think that's just the bottom line. Patience.
And I think in the essence or in the effort of building that patience, you definitely need to be mindful, I guess, of the words. So yeah, definitely the power of words. So be careful in the words that you speak, how you speak them, when you speak them, because certain situations or certain words will cause you or cause the relationship to go sour just because of how you said it in a certain situation, when you said it, and it can come off negative. And I know from a man's standpoint, we think that we're just saying something, but it's received differently during a particular situation, no matter how, if your emotions are heightened, if you're stressed out, anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and as you said too, words have power. They can either hurt or heal. So we have to be mindful of that. Basically we choose, our words and what they're capable of doing. Either they're going to heal or hurt. That's extremely important. And if you want to have effective communication, to avoid, what we got to do is try to avoid the trivial matters.
you can try to avoid it, but sometimes it's inevitable. So sometimes it's going to come up, but you still have to be able to.
But sometimes you have to avoid the trivial matters. However, there are times when things have to be said. Right?
Both ways, or both sides.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, on both sides. Yeah.
I'm just
Does it make you say,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those thought-provoking podcasts. Huh?
Well, thought-provoking, but also make sure you don't say the wrong thing.
Go ahead.
I'm joking.
I'm sure somebody got a couch you can sleep on tonight. I'd say it's Monday. Will there be one? So just to go back and kind of recap our 5 points. For
1, listen to your spouse.
Listen.
So,
listen, Linda. Listen.
So,
Listen, Linda. Listen. Gotta listen.
so I guess since you're saying it to me as a male, I guess it'll be what is a Leroy?
Leroy. Where did Leroy come from?
So you don't remember that?
What is that, a movie?
Yeah.
I don't do movies like that. I fall asleep. Sorry.
Really?
Yes, really. But listening,
Come on,
using that verbal and nonverbal language or communication wisely.
Sure.
Watching our gestures, our hand motions, our, making sure that we're present and aware of the facial expressions and things of that nature.
And it goes into understanding how your spouse communicates. So you're more verbal in your communication. I'm more hand gestures, talking with my hands.
I'm both. Nonverbal.
Yeah.
Listen with you. You don't listen. We do not condone abuse. We're just joking. Sometimes you got to lay hands, though. Come on over here, let me lay hands real quick. Okay? But understanding how your spouse communicates is what you basically led into, using that nonverbal and verbal, but also understanding how your spouse communicates.
Yep. But then you also have to practice patience. Patience is a virtue, right?
Don't be rubbing on me. Lay hands again now. Yes, practicing patience. Being patient with one another, even when we feel like our thoughts and messages are not being received well, right? We still have, or when you don't take out the trash, when you don't pick up your shoes, when you don't close that pantry door, or when, never mind.
Really?
Let me get back on track. And being mindful of our words, right?
No, let's go
I
back.
didn't mean to tell on you. I'm sorry.
Let's go back.
Okay. Because I got some, what's
that? Let's rewind that back.
Sorry. Didn't mean to put you on blast like that. But the truth will make you free.
Really?
If you let it. Got to be willing. Okay, be mindful of your words, right? That's the last point. Be mindful of your words.
Oh, my God. So the power of words.
Be nice to me. Right?
Am I not always nice?
Yes, you are most times. Being mindful of your words. Watch what you say. Words can either hurt or heal.
Correct.
Right? And we want to heal.
Correct.
With
So
our
we
words.
like to speak positive affirmations.
That's
from
right.
the standpoint whether or not it be personally, professionally, in our marriage. And so more I am statements versus I guess I am not.
Right.
So, and then not I am, but we are.
Right.
Because as we're doing this, we are doing it together. So it's more we statements versus we are versus
Right.
we are not. So
Right.
that's about we are healed. We are prosperous. We are.
Come on with the declarations. Give them some more. Come on. We are healed. We are prosperous. We are successful. We are victorious. We are more than conquerors. See, I can go down the line with that now.
Go on,
you want to come on with declarations?
Speak it.
That's right. Mindful of your words, and that is true. And what you have to do that's kind of like declaring your morning. I read a book by Cindy Trim, and she talks about declaring your morning, how we have to be mindful of those words. And I know this is kind of off from what we're saying. Well, not really. It still relates. But, a lot of times we may say, oh, Lord, if it's not one thing, it's another. Well, if you say that, then it's going to be one thing after another and another. So we have to be careful of the words that we speak, because they have power, and we activate them when they come out of our mouth.
Absolutely.
And put them into the atmosphere, right?
Yeah. And then the words that you speak, it either is going to limit you or it's going to make you limitless.
Exactly.
So I know one of the books, Jim Quick, and he talks about some of those things as far as the limitless opportunities that you have. So in our marriage, the words that we speak can either limit us or take us to another atmosphere.
Level.
Yeah.
Another level. Yeah, come on, I like that. Give me your high five for today. All right, I like that.
After you talk bad about me.
I didn't talk bad about you. I just told the truth. Remember I said it'll help you if you let it. Okay, well, I'm going to let you tell everybody how to connect with us and all that again, because we want to remind people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can wrap it up with that.
You can follow us on all social media platforms. On Instagram, we are at Sloan Blueprint. On YouTube, yes, also go to Sloan Blueprint, and we ask you to subscribe to our channel. And
also submit your questions. If you've got some questions or some topics and things that you would like for us to talk about, email us at sloanblueprint@gmail.com, right? That's the right email right here?
No, that's the old one.
Is that the old one? Well, I think that one's still active, but there's another. Can you give them the other one?
Well, they can go to info@sloanblueprint.com.
Info@sloanblueprint or sloanblueprint@gmail.com. And y'all already know, as Eric said, continue to watch, share, subscribe. We're going to have some more fun guests coming up soon.
Looking forward to that.
We're looking forward to it. We're going to have the boys on soon, too. They've been kind of busy. Y'all know their busy schedule. Our boys, they're going to come and join us soon. So y'all stay tuned. Also, Boss Times 2, we're coming soon with that. We've got our shirts, and if y'all remember the Boss Times 2, the black and gold, and we'll have other colors and styles right here.
Absolutely.
For you to purchase. We want you to support that. Even if I'll say, hey, somebody mentioned this to me the other day, and they said, well, I'm single, but Boss Times 2 is me and Jesus. I said, you got that right. Me and Jesus alone.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right,
and,
exactly.
And it has so many different meanings.
It does.
It can be from a business standpoint. It can be just from in your couple, in your relationship. You two are the boss times too.
Exactly.
Even if you don't have a business, you're still the boss. You're boss of your own domain. You're the boss of your environment.
Absolutely.
You're the boss of everything that you do.
That's right. That's right. I agree. And so don't forget, stay tuned. May the rest of your year be full of prosperity, success, and good health from now on right here, because we're going to do what God called us to do right here. Come on, your words.
We're going to do.
Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Y'all have a blessed week.